Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Let me also extend my congratulations to Mr. Ferguson and thank Mr. Smith for his comments on this very important piece of legislation. I think the public is always glad to see bipartisanship at work, and there's nobody who exemplifies that more than the chairman of the subcommittee, than Mr. Ferguson himself. Americans are increasingly vulnerable to identity theft, as we all know, and in 2023, the Federal Trade Commission received over 1 million reports of identity theft. Addressing identity theft can be a complex and time-consuming, and currently, a victim could run into incredible red tape when you try to go through the current system and get resolution to what obviously is a very disturbing incident that's just happened to you. We must do everything we can to improve the process for victims, and that's why we initiated this legislation that will allow that one-stop provision and will allow the individuals to make sure that they have a point of contact and work this way through instead of working their way through an entanglement of bureaucracy. We must also ensure that SAA has necessary funding, however, and resources to carry out its mission. Years of underfunding, and the American public should understand this. Social Security, man, it is over 70 million people. What other federal agency do you know of that administers that bureaucracy for under 1%? That's a shameful cut. We need to make sure that Social Security is funded appropriately and make sure that they have all the latest technology to deal with the more than 70 million people now that are receiving Social Security. Again, I think the nation is astounded. I come from an insurance capital of the world, and on average, they administer their insurance programs for around 20%. I think we ought to take a hard look, and I think everybody has to take a look into their heart. If we expect to provide people with the kind of service they should get from the #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and the #1 anti-poverty program for children, then we have to make sure that that's appropriately funded. I reserve my time.